"She's not blood. Let her go. She's not worth saving." That's what my stepmother said over my hospital bed while I was barely breathing. Can you imagine? At 21, lying there half dead, and the people who should have fought for me, my dad, my stepsister, my stepmom, just walked away, like I wasn't even human. I used to believe family was unbreakable. But in that sterile room with the machines beeping and my tears soaking the pillow, I realized I'd been erased long before that night. Erased from their hearts, erased from their plans. And when I uncovered the files proving it, their betrayal only cut deeper. If you've ever felt discarded by the people meant to protect you, don't hold back. Drop me a "I feel you" in the comments. Because this is where the lies that stole my inheritance begin to unravel. The first thing I feel is pain. It's not just a dull ache, but a sharp, throbbing pulse that spreads from my head down to my limbs. I can't move. My body feels heavy, like it's trapped beneath a mountain. The world around me is a haze of white light and distant sounds. I can't even tell if I'm awake or still lost in some kind of nightmare. The only thing that's real is the beeping, relentless and loud, like a warning I can't escape. My eyes flutter open, and for a moment, everything is blurry. The ceiling above me is sterile white, almost blinding under the harsh fluorescent lights. The air smells like antiseptic, a sharp sting that burns in my nose. I try to move my arms, but they won't listen. My fingers twitch uselessly, and a cold sweat breaks out along my forehead. Everything aches. Every muscle, every bone, every inch of my body screams in pain. My head feels like it's been split open. I try to breathe, but it feels like I'm not getting enough air. The only thing that remains constant is the beeping, a sound so repetitive it's become a part of me, like it's the rhythm of my pulse. Constant, unrelenting, and impossible to ignore. I try to focus on the voices around me. Slowly, I can make out the shapes of people standing beside my bed. Carla, my stepmom, Mike, my dad, and Lena, my stepsister. They're standing over me, their faces blurry, but I can see the way they look at me. I don't feel like their daughter. I don't even feel like a person to them. I feel like an object they have to deal with. Then I hear it. Carla's voice, sharp and cold, slicing through the fog in my mind. "She's not our blood, doctor," she says. Her words are crisp, like the snap of breaking glass. "Let her go. She's not worth saving." The words hit me like a physical blow, like a punch to the chest that knocks all the air out of me. I try to breathe, but it's like my lungs have forgotten how. Not worth saving? My world stops. The beeping of the machines becomes a distant echo, fading as everything around me goes still. Time slows, and all I can hear is the deafening thrum of my heart. I can't even process what she's just said. The weight of it sinks in, pressing down on me, suffocating me. She doesn't even care. I'm nothing to her. Nothing. My body trembles, but I can't move. I want to scream, I want to shout, to demand an explanation, but my voice won't come. My throat feels too dry, too tight. I can't move my arms to push myself up, and every time I try to breathe, the pain in my chest intensifies. The only thing I can do is lie there, completely powerless as Carla's cold words echo in my ears. And then they leave. Carla, Mike, and Lena. They turn and walk away without so much as a second glance. No words of comfort, no sign that they care. They leave me here in this sterile room, alone, surrounded by the beeping of machines and the smell of antiseptic. The door shuts behind them with a soft click, and I'm left in the silence. The silence is unbearable. It feels like a weight pressing down on my chest, squeezing the breath out of me. It's louder than the beeping. The emptiness of it is crushing. I feel like I'm drowning in it. I try to blink away the sting of tears, but they keep coming. They fall down the sides of my face, hot and fast, as I lie there motionless. The pain in my body is nothing compared to the ache in my chest, the overwhelming sense of betrayal. They don't care. They never cared. Why? Why would they leave me like this? Why would they say I'm not worth saving? I reach for the table beside me, my fingers weak and trembling. They brush against something cold and hard, something familiar. A photo, a family photo. It's old, so old that the edges are frayed, the colors faded. I can barely make out the faces, but I know who they are. My dad, my mom, before she passed away. And there's Carla, smiling at the camera. Lena, too, standing beside her like they were one big happy family. I clutch the photo to my chest, like it's the only thing that hasn't abandoned me. It's the only thing that feels real in this moment. But even that doesn't feel like enough. Holding the photo doesn't make the pain go away. It doesn't make the betrayal disappear. It only reminds me of everything I've lost. I want to scream. I want to ask them why. I want to demand answers. But all I can do is lie there, helpless, as the weight of their abandonment presses down on me. They didn't even care enough to stay. My breath comes faster, the air too thin in this room. I gasp for breath, but it feels like the oxygen is being sucked out of the room, like I'm suffocating. The pain in my body isn't enough to distract me from the pain in my heart. I feel hollow inside, empty, like there's nothing left of me. The photo trembles in my hands as I hold it tight against my chest. The rain outside slaps against the windows, the rhythmic sound of it mixing with the beeping of the machines. It's almost like the world outside is trying to drown out the sound of my heart breaking. Why am I not worth saving? Was I ever really theirs? Or was I just someone they had to take in because of my mom? Someone to fill a void? Someone to inherit what they were left with after she died? The questions swirl around in my head, but there are no answers. Only silence. Only the beeping of the machines. The photo burns in my hand, and I feel the weight of it, the weight of all the unanswered questions pressing down on me. The world outside seems to fade, and all I can hear is the harsh rhythm of my heart and the sound of my breath. Shallow and labored. Was I ever theirs? Or was I just a stranger in their home, someone they never truly wanted? The rain keeps falling outside, and for the first time in my life, I feel truly alone. The sharp, sterile scent of the hospital lingers in the air. I can't escape it. It's in the sheets, the air, and it even burns in the back of my throat. I'm still in that fog, dazed, exhausted, and raw from the pain. The world outside my bed feels distant, like a dream I can't touch. I feel trapped in this room, caught between the lingering pain of betrayal and the reality that I'm alive. Barely. The beeping of the machines around me is a constant reminder of my fragility. It's like I'm tethered to this place, unable to break free. Every breath feels shallow, and the weight in my chest seems to get heavier with each passing second. Then the door creaks open. I don't expect anyone. The last I saw, my family had walked out, leaving me here, alone. But then there's a familiar voice, a warm one. "You're not alone, all right? I'm not going anywhere." Jordan, my coworker, the barista from the cafe. His voice is low, comforting, and it cuts through the haze I'm in. I blink, trying to focus, and I see him standing at the foot of my bed, dripping wet from the rain outside. His hair sticks to his forehead, droplets of water falling down his face as he takes a step closer. His eyes, usually full of jokes and easy laughter, are now filled with concern. He doesn't let go of my hand. His grip is firm, steady, like he's grounding me to something real. He squeezes it gently, offering me something I didn't even know I needed: comfort. I can't speak. I can barely move, but I squeeze his hand in return, my fingers shaky and weak. He stays there with me, not rushing to fill the silence with words. It's like he knows I don't need that. He's just here, and that's enough. The coffee he's holding is bitter, and the steam rises from the cup in a slow dance, filling the air with a warmth that contrasts sharply with the coldness of the room. The rain outside taps against the window, a steady rhythm that matches the pace of my heartbeat. It's like the whole world has slowed down, and it's just the two of us in this moment. His presence cuts through the cold, sterile environment like a lifeline. I'm overwhelmed, but there's something comforting about him being here. He isn't family. He isn't supposed to be here. And yet, here he is, staying with me when the people who were supposed to love me turn their backs. I finally find my voice, whispering the words I never thought I'd say out loud. They left me for dead, didn't they? Jordan looks down at me, his face softening, and his grip tightens around my hand. They did, but I'm here now, and I'm not going anywhere. His words are simple, but they carry weight. The warmth in his tone is enough to make the tears sting again, but this time they don't feel like betrayal. They feel like relief. My mind is still reeling from Carla's words. The thought of being discarded so easily cuts deeper than I ever expected it to. But in this moment, with Jordan by my side, a spark of something else flickers inside me, a spark of survival. I stare at the worn family photo that's lying on the bedside table. I don't remember exactly how it ended up there, but now it feels like the only anchor I have. My fingers reach for it, trembling slightly as I pick it up. It's a blurry picture, faded with age, but I can still make out the faces. There's me, as a kid, my mom smiling beside me, but there's someone else too, a woman I don't recognize standing just behind me, her face partially obscured. I freeze. Who is she? Why can't I remember her? My fingers trace the edges of the photo, feeling the frayed corners under my touch. The mystery gnaws at me, pulling me in, but it also feels like it's pulling me away from what's happening right now. I can't stop staring at the photo, the woman's face half-formed in my memory. Who is she? I whisper, almost to myself, my voice cracking. Jordan looks at me, noticing the change in my expression, the curiosity in my eyes. Who's who? He asks, his voice soft but filled with concern. I hold up the photo. This woman. I don't know who she is, but I feel like I should. Jordan leans in slightly, studying the photo for a moment. I don't know, but maybe we'll figure it out. You don't have to do this alone, okay? His words are steady, full of assurance. The mystery behind the photo hangs in the air between us, but for the first time, I don't feel alone in it. I have a feeling that Jordan might be the one to help me uncover the truth, but even more than that, he's the one who's reminding me that I'm not worthless, that I'm not nothing. I squeeze his hand again, this time with more certainty. I'm not alone. No, Jordan agrees. You're not. His words are simple, but they feel like a promise. And for the first time in a long time, that promise is all I need. The rain outside continues its steady beat, but now it doesn't feel so isolating. It feels like it's just part of the rhythm of my life, a life that's not over. Not yet. And I know I'm not done fighting. The steady beeping of the machine is the only thing that keeps me tethered to reality. The room is still too cold, too sterile. It feels like a tomb more than a hospital room. The rain outside hits the windows in a frantic rhythm, matching the pounding in my chest. Every drop is like a reminder, cold, relentless, impossible to ignore. It mirrors what's happening inside me. I'm trapped here, caught in a fog of pain, frustration, and rage. I had thought the worst was behind me. After Carla's cruel words, I expected nothing less from her. But this is worse than I could have ever imagined. I pull the blanket tighter around me, trying to ward off the cold. But it's not just the physical chill that's consuming me. It's something deeper, something darker. The door opens, and Nurse Tara steps inside. She's carrying a clipboard, her expression neutral. I can't help but feel like she's just another part of the machine, the endless, impersonal system that I'm now trapped in. "Everything okay?" she asks, her tone polite but distant. I want to shout. I want to ask her why the hell no one cared enough to leave any information about my insurance, my contact details, anything. But I don't. I can't. My voice feels like it's been ripped from me. Instead, I swallow hard and ask the question that's been eating at me. "They didn't leave any paperwork, did they?" Nurse Tara glances down at the clipboard, shaking her head slightly. "No, hun, nothing. Not even a contact." Her eyes meet mine, and for a second, I think I see a flicker of sympathy. But then it's gone, swallowed by the coldness in the room. I close my eyes for a moment, trying to process her words. Nothing. Not even a contact. My own family had left me here to die. Not even a single phone number. Not even a shred of humanity. I try to take a deep breath, but it feels like there's no air in the room. The rage builds up inside me, hot and suffocating. I can feel it burning in my chest, tightening my throat. The flashbacks come, unbidden, flooding my mind. I see myself at a Portland BBQ years ago. The laughter, the familiar voices of my family, but none of them were really looking at me. I was there, but I wasn't really there. I remember standing alone in the corner, trying to make myself invisible. Lena was the golden child, the center of attention, always. And then I remember that one moment, the one that burns the most. It was at Lena's graduation. The crowd was loud, excited. Carla stood at the podium, her voice carrying over the microphone. The whole room was hanging on her every word. She was talking about Lena, how proud she was of her. And then she said it. "Lena's our pride. You're just independent." I remember how my heart sank, how the world around me seemed to blur, and all I could hear was the sound of Carla's voice. Independent. That's all I was. I wasn't family. I wasn't anything more than a bystander in their lives, a placeholder, someone who existed because they had to. Tears sting the back of my eyes, but I refuse to let them fall. I won't cry over them. Not anymore. The photo of me as a child with the unknown woman in the background, the woman whose face I couldn't quite place, but whose presence felt so familiar. Her face haunts me, a reminder of a buried truth, a truth I can't seem to reach. Who was she? Why does she feel like home when everything else in my life has been nothing but a lie? I blink and the anger surges back. I can't keep ignoring it. They left me here to die, abandoned me when I needed them the most. The woman in the photo, she's the key. I can feel it. There's something there, something about my past, my real past that they've tried to bury. Nurse Tara shifts, clearly uncomfortable with the silence that's thickening between us. She clears her throat, but I don't care. My mind is elsewhere. My blood is boiling, my heart racing. I force myself to sit up, feeling the sharp pain in my ribs, but I can't stop. I need answers. I need to know who that woman is. I need to know why they did this to me. Tara notices and she gives me a tentative smile. "If you need anything, just hit the button, okay?" I don't even look at her. I'm not here for her empty promises. I'm not here to be placated. She leaves, the door clicking shut behind her, and I'm alone again. But this time, something inside me has shifted. It's not just the cold that's taking hold of me. It's a new resolve. A fury I didn't know I had. The rain outside picks up, harder now, battering the windows as if trying to break through, trying to wash away everything I've been holding back. It's a violent rhythm that matches the war going on inside me. Was I ever truly a part of that family? Were they ever really my family? The questions spin, faster now, like a storm churning in my mind. I can feel the truth slipping away from me, always just out of reach. But I'll find it. I have to. I won't stop until I know who that woman is, until I know why they turned their backs on me, until I can finally understand the twisted truth they've kept hidden. The photo trembles in my hand again, and I hold it tight. There's something there. I'm sure of it. And I will uncover it. The dim hospital room is quiet now, but the buzzing hum of the machines feels louder than ever, almost mocking me. I lie in the bed, staring at the ceiling, but my mind is elsewhere, tangled in the mess of the last few days, trying to piece together the shattered fragments of what I thought I knew about my life. It's the woman in the photo. She's been haunting me, flickering in my thoughts every time I close my eyes. Who is she? Why does she feel like home when my own family never did? My hand instinctively reaches for the frayed edges of the photo, but then I stop myself. There's more to this. I need answers. I can't just sit here and let it consume me. I have to know. I reach for my phone on the small table beside the bed, the action almost mechanical now. I dial Jordan's number. He picks up on the first ring. "Hey," I say, my voice low, barely a whisper. "I need you to do something for me." "What's up?" he replies, his voice still soft but with an edge of concern. "I need you to go to my apartment. There's a USB drive in my desk drawer. It's labeled Old Backups. Can you grab it for me?" I don't wait for him to respond before continuing. "It's important." There's a pause on the other end, then he says, "I got it. Don't worry, I'll be right there." I hang up and feel a strange mix of relief and anticipation. Jordan isn't just my coworker. He's been my anchor. In the chaos, he's the one person who hasn't looked at me like I'm a burden. He's the only one I trust right now, the only one who's not trying to tear me down. A few hours later, I'm still in the same bed, staring at the ceiling, when Jordan finally walks in, the USB drive in hand. He's drenched from the rain outside, his hair plastered to his forehead. The smell of wet clothes fills the room as he drops the small drive into my lap. "Got it from your messy desk drawer, just like you said," he says, offering me a grin, though it doesn't quite reach his eyes. I nod, barely noticing the mess of the world outside the room now. The rain pounds against the window, a constant reminder that life continues, relentlessly. But in this moment, it feels like time has slowed down, the world shrinking to just this: the USB drive, Jordan's warm presence, and the mystery that's been eating at me. I plug the USB into the computer by my bedside, my hands shaking slightly as I navigate the file folders. I'm nervous, too nervous to feel anything else. And then I see it, a folder titled Important Personal Files. I click on it and a long list of encrypted documents appears. My heart races in my chest as I select the first one, holding my breath as the file decrypts. The screen flickers for a moment, then the document opens. I skim through the file, my eyes widening as the words blur together. My hands feel cold. I can't believe what I'm reading. The document says it, right there, in black and white. I'm not their biological child. The revelation hits me like ice water. It's as if someone has dumped a bucket of freezing cold truth all over me, and I can barely breathe through the shock. My mother didn't just die. They didn't just take me in because they had to. There was a clause in some sort of arrangement that required me to learn about my biological family when I turned 21. I stumble through the rest of the file, the shock spreading like a poison in my veins. The digital letters from my biological aunt are there too, buried under layers of digital dirt. Carla and Mike had erased them. They'd hidden everything from me. "Why?" I whisper, more to myself than to anyone else. "Why would they lie to me about everything?" The anger starts to bubble up again, like a slow burn deep inside me. The woman in the photo, she's the key. Jordan leans in, his brow furrowing as he reads the screen over my shoulder. "They erased all of this? They kept you in the dark?" "Yeah," I breathe, my voice barely above a whisper. "They erased everything. My real family, my real history, all of it. They lied to me about my entire life." I try to focus, try to push away the crushing weight of this new reality, but it's impossible. It feels like the ground is shifting beneath me and I can't find my footing. The truth was right there, all this time, and I never saw it. The lies, the manipulation, The photo in my hand feels heavier now, like a burden I can't escape. I can almost hear her voice in my head, the woman in the photo. I know she's out there somewhere. I need to find her. But how? I look up at Jordan, who's standing by my side, watching me with concern. His presence is the only thing that feels real right now. We need to find out who she is, I say, my voice more determined than I've felt in days. I need to know who I really am. Jordan nods slowly, his hand resting on my shoulder. We'll figure it out. You're not alone in this. I feel the weight of his words, and for the first time since I woke up in that sterile hospital room, I feel like I can breathe again. The truth is out there. I don't know how yet, but I will find it. The rain outside grows heavier. It's pounding against the window like the sound of a ticking clock, reminding me that time is running out. My identity, my real identity, is out there, buried under layers of lies. And I'm going to find it. The apartment is too quiet, too dark. I sit at the small desk in the corner, my laptop casting a pale glow on my face, the only source of light in the room. The smell of stale coffee still lingers in the air, mixing with the damp scent of rain coming through the cracks in the window. I can hear the steady rhythm of it, the rain hitting the glass in a soft but relentless tap, tap, tap. It's a sound that mirrors my mind right now, constant, endless, always moving forward but never quite letting me catch my breath. I've been back in this apartment for hours after being discharged from the hospital. The sterile walls of the hospital are behind me, but it feels like the walls of my apartment are closing in just as tight. I'm alone again, alone with my thoughts, alone with the weight of the truth that's just beginning to settle over me. They didn't just cut me out of their lives, they stole something from me, something huge. I tap at the keys, the sound of the keyboard almost drowned out by the storm outside. It's like the world is amplifying the rage inside me. I can feel it simmering just under the surface, a constant pressure in my chest, making it hard to focus. But I can't stop now. I can't stop searching for answers. The woman in the photo, the one who feels like she's been calling to me, pulling at the very fabric of my memories, could be my aunt. I'm certain of it now. Every time I look at the photo, I feel it. The resemblance is undeniable. But the mystery surrounding her, why did they hide everything about her from me? And what was the real reason they never told me the truth? I click through the files I found on the USB drive, each document heavier than the last. I'm looking for something, anything, that will explain the lies. My fingers shake, the anticipation making my pulse race. Then, something catches my eye. It's an obituary, my bio-aunt's obituary. My heart skips a beat as I read the headline, Misty Carter, 58, a beloved vineyard owner, passes away unexpectedly. I feel a lump form in my throat. The words blur for a second as I struggle to keep my focus. Misty Carter, my aunt, the woman I never got the chance to know, the woman they erased from my life. I scroll down, my eyes scanning the rest of the obituary, and then it hits me. She left me her estate. She named me as her heir. The shock of it hits like a slap. I can barely process the words, but I know this is huge. This is everything. All the pieces start to fall into place. The photo, the letters, the family's coldness. They didn't just ignore me. They erased me because there was something to gain. I lean forward, my eyes fixed on the screen. There's more. I scroll down to the comments section, my hands trembling as I read the words from someone who seems to know more than they should. It's funny how she left everything to a stranger, especially considering who she was really related to. My stomach drops as I read it again. Who was she really related to? What does this mean? I feel a surge of anger flood through me, my vision blurring as the questions pile up. What was my aunt's connection to them? To my so-called family? The ones who had kept me in the dark all this time? I close my eyes, trying to push the overwhelming flood of thoughts out of my head. but it doesn't work. They never planned to tell me the truth. Not about the estate, not about my family, not about anything. All of this was hidden from me. The rain outside intensifies, slapping the window like an angry reminder that the truth is always there, just out of reach. The photo of the woman, my aunt, I'm sure of it now, feels like a burning question in my hands. Why would they keep her from me? What were they trying to protect by keeping me out of the family business? My heart pounds as the answers begin to take shape. Money, greed, power. They were afraid of me finding out. They were afraid of losing what they thought was rightfully theirs. I think back to Lena's Instagram posts, the expensive vacations, the flashy gifts, the fancy dinners they flaunted on social media. They were living their best lives while I was cast aside, left to pick up the pieces of a life they had no intention of sharing with me, and I can't help but feel a rush of fury. They didn't just push me aside. They used me. They took advantage of my absence, used me as a pawn in their little game, and now I'm finally starting to see the truth. They thought they could get away with it. They thought I'd never find out. But I will. The photo of my aunt, whoever she was to them, haunts me. But it's more than that. It's the key to the whole story. It's the thread that will unravel everything. I can't sit here any longer. I have to take action. I can't let them get away with it. My fingers move faster across the keys as I begin to search for more. What else did they hide? What else have they buried? The truth is right there in front of me, and I'm not going to stop until I uncover every last piece. I close my eyes for a moment, letting the quiet in the room wash over me, the sound of the rain still tapping against the glass. This is just the beginning. I can feel it. The truth is waiting, and I'm going to find it. The office is sleek, too sleek. The polished wood floors, the minimalist decor, the floor-to-ceiling glass windows that offer a breathtaking view of the Puget Sound. It's all designed to impress, to overwhelm, to make you feel small. And right now, I feel tiny, small, insignificant, and suddenly very exposed. I sit across from Ms. Harper, my aunt's lawyer, her dark eyes cold and calculating, every word she speaks laced with precision. Her voice is businesslike, calm, but there's an underlying tension that I can't shake. She slides a thick folder across the desk to me, the sound of paper against wood unnervingly loud in the otherwise quiet room. The fog outside clouds the view, swirling over the water, adding a haze to the cold, gray morning. My fingers hover over the folder for a moment before I open it, a knot of unease tightening in my stomach. Ms. Harper doesn't wait for me to ask questions. She starts talking before I even look at the first page. Your aunt left a trust, $3.8 million. It's a vineyard trust. Her words are direct, cutting through the air like a blade. She named you the beneficiary. I blink, the words not quite sinking in at first. $3.8 million. That's a lot. But it's not the money that grabs my attention. It's the implications. They lied to me. The family buried everything about this, kept it hidden from me because they knew. They faked your disappearance, she continues, her eyes never leaving mine, watching for my reaction. To freeze the trust, they needed you out of the picture to claim the funds. Your identity was buried, erased from the system, and they spent it on things like Lena's Coachella trips, the home renovations they flaunted. It was all part of the plan. My blood runs cold as her words sink in, and I lean back in the chair, trying to steady myself. The weight of it all hits me at once. Betrayal, greed, manipulation. Everything I thought I knew about my family, about my life, is a lie. My hands tremble as I grip the edge of the folder, and for a second, I'm unable to breathe. They buried my identity, I repeat, the words tasting like ash in my mouth. To steal everything from me. Ms. Harper doesn't look surprised. It wasn't just your family, she says, her voice low. It's clear they've been hiding more than just the trust. It's systematic. They didn't just erase you, they erased the truth. I feel the walls of the office close in around me, the air thick with the weight of her words. It's not just the trust or the money, it's the lengths they went to. They wanted me gone, erased, so they could claim it all for themselves. The photo, the letters, everything was meant to keep me in the dark. But there's more. I know there is. There's something else, Ms. Harper says, cutting into my thoughts. She opens another folder, revealing an email. This was attached to the documents we found. It's cryptic, but it's important. She slides the printout toward me. I scan the message quickly. The surveillance is set up. Make sure she never learns the truth. Keep an eye on her room. My heart skips. Surveillance? My room? I stare at the words, my mind spinning. What the hell is this? Why were they spying on me? Were they watching me the entire time? My blood runs cold as the suspicion takes root, gnawing at me. They had cameras in my room? In my life? I can't shake the feeling that everything I thought I knew about my past is slipping through my fingers like sand. What does this mean? I ask, my voice trembling despite myself. Ms. Harper's eyes flicker. It means they were monitoring you. They knew exactly what you were doing, and now we have a new lead. She pauses for a moment, letting that sink in. We're going to need to look at everything, every detail. It's time to gather evidence. If there's a camera, we need to find it, and we need to know who else was involved. I sit there, frozen for a moment, the words swirling around me, bouncing off the walls of my mind. They spied on me. All these years I thought I was just an outsider, left to fend for myself. But now it feels like I've been trapped in a web, watched and controlled from the shadows. How long has this been going on? What else have they done that I don't know about? I push the thought aside. I can't let myself get distracted. I need to focus. This is it. This is the moment where everything changes. How do we find it? I ask, my voice steady now, the urgency in my words clear. Ms. Harper leans forward, her fingers steepling. We're going to start by tracking down the source of this email. Someone had to set up that surveillance system. If we can find that, we can figure out who else is involved. I nod, the weight of everything still pressing down on me, but a new determination rises within me. The truth is close now. I can feel it. The camera, the lies, the trust, all of it is connected, and I'm going to find it. I stand up, my heart pounding in my chest. The mystery is deepening, the stakes higher than I ever imagined, but I won't stop. Not until I uncover every last secret they've kept hidden from me. The rain outside intensifies, slashing against the window like it's angry, relentless. And I'm angry too. Angry at the lies, angry at the betrayal, angry at everything they tried to keep from me. But that anger is fueling me now. It's driving me forward. I turn to Ms. Harper, my resolve hardening. Let's do this. The rain outside my apartment is relentless, beating against the windows in a way that makes everything feel heavier. The dark clouds press down on the city, matching the weight that sits on my chest. I sit at my desk, the glow of the laptop illuminating my face as Jordan and I sift through the evidence. It's not just the files now. It's the memories, the texts, the photos. Little pieces of a life they tried to erase, all of it floating in front of me like a puzzle waiting to be put together. I've already gone through my phone, looking at the texts I'd sent, the ones they ignored. The texts where I reached out, tried to tell them how much I needed them, how much I still wanted to be part of their world, even when they shut me out. Now I look at those same words with a sick feeling in my stomach. How could they do this to me? How could they keep pushing me away when I was just trying to be there, trying to be family? Jordan's voice pulls me out of my thoughts. This is it. This is all the proof we need. He's pointing at the screen, showing me the screenshots of texts from my family's group chat, the messages from the holidays, the ones where they pretended I wasn't even there, the messages that talked about immediate family where my name was conveniently left out. It's all there, clear as day, the proof of their betrayal, laid out for me to see. But that's not enough. Not yet. We need more, I say, my voice low but determined. My hands are shaking as I scroll through the files on my laptop, trying to find the next piece, the next step. "Are you sure about this?" Jordan asks, his voice tense. "They won't just let you walk away from this. You're messing with their whole world." "I don't care," I reply, more firmly than I feel. "I need to know what they're hiding. I need to know why they did this." Jordan doesn't say anything for a long moment, just watching me. I can see the concern in his eyes, but there's something else there too, something that matches the fire I feel inside. He knows I'm not backing down now. Later that day, I head to Portland. The cafe is quiet, the air thick with the smell of coffee and wet coats. I sit down at a table by the window, the cold drizzle outside matching the chill in my bones. Sam is here, a family friend, a witness. Or at least that's what I hoped he could be. He slides into the seat across from me, looking uneasy. Sam has always been the one who shied away from confrontation, always a little too comfortable staying on the sidelines. But now, it feels like the stakes are higher than ever. "I need you to testify," I say, my voice a little more desperate than I want it to be. "You were there. You saw how they treated me. I need someone to back me up." Sam shifts uncomfortably in his seat, his eyes darting to the window, avoiding mine. He takes a deep breath before speaking. "I can't, okay? I can't get involved in this." His voice is quiet, almost apologetic. My chest tightens, my heart pounding in my ears. "What do you mean? You were there, Sam. You saw how they treated me, how they used me. You can't just stay silent." He leans back, his gaze finally meeting mine, and his words hit me like a slap. "Mike could kill me if I talk. You're on your own." I freeze. The weight of his words crashes into me, and for a moment, I can't breathe. Mike, the one person who's always been the center of their world, the one person whose power and influence have shaped everything. If Sam's too scared to speak out, what chance do I have? The silence between us stretches, suffocating. I want to yell at him. I want to tell him he's a coward, but I can't. The betrayal in his eyes, the fear, that's real, and I can't ignore it. "I'll figure it out," I say, my voice quieter than I want it to be. "Thanks for nothing." I stand up abruptly, pushing my chair back so hard it scrapes against the floor. Sam doesn't try to stop me. I walk out of the cafe, the cold air hitting me in waves. The rain is heavier now, and I feel it on my skin, seeping into my clothes. But it's not the cold that's making my body shake. It's the reality of what Sam said. "You're on your own." I make my way back to my apartment, feeling the weight of his words settle in the pit of my stomach. He's not wrong. I am on my own in this, but that doesn't mean I'm giving up. Back in my apartment, I sit down at my desk again. The evidence is right there in front of me. The screenshots, the texts, the memories, they all point to the same thing. A family that never truly saw me. A family that used me and discarded me the moment I wasn't useful. I plug in the phone and file a review, freezing their accounts, cutting them off. It's small, it's a start, but it's a victory. It feels like a small taste of control, a small piece of the power I've been denied for so long. The phone buzzes almost immediately. It's a voicemail from Carla. Her voice is tight, laced with anger. "You're making a mess, kid. Calm down. You don't know what you're doing." Her words hit me like a knife to the gut. Gaslighting. Again, trying to make me feel crazy, trying to make me believe that I'm the one in the wrong. But it won't work. I've heard it before. And I'm not falling for it again. I listen to the message, but I don't let it control me. Instead, I press the delete button, and for the first time in a long time, I feel something other than anger. I feel empowered. I'm not just gathering evidence anymore. I'm fighting back, and I won't stop. The storm outside my apartment mirrors the storm raging in my chest. Rain beats against the window, the sharp taps louder than they should be, like the sound of a countdown ticking away. The air feels thick, heavier with every minute that passes. I've just sent the legal notice. Finally, the first step toward exposing everything. The email's out there, in their inbox, right under their noses. It's done. But as soon as I hit send, I can feel the weight of it all crashing down on me. I stare at the blank screen of my laptop for a moment, waiting for the fallout. I can almost hear Carla's voice in my head, taunting me, telling me I don't know what I'm doing. But I do know what I'm doing. This is my fight now, and it's far from over. Suddenly, my phone buzzes. A voicemail. I press play. And immediately, Carla's frantic voice fills the air. "We need to talk," she says, breathless, her tone shaking with desperation. "You've made a huge mistake. Please, just stop. It's not too late to fix this." I can hear the panic in her voice, the fear. They're scared. And that feeling of them being scared should be enough to make me feel victorious, to make me feel like I've got control. But there's a gnawing feeling at the back of my mind that I can't shake. Fear. Fear of what they might do next. They've never played fair, so why would they start now? I lean back in my chair, watching the rain streak down the window. The neon city lights flickering outside, casting eerie, wavering reflections on the glass. It's cold in here. The kind of cold that gets into your bones and makes everything feel distant, like you're not really part of the world around you. Just as I pull my blanket tighter around my shoulders, another buzz. This time, a text. It's from Lena. "Keep going and your breakdown's viral." I freeze. My heart stops for a beat, then starts hammering in my chest. Viral. She's threatening to ruin me. She's going to smear me. Broadcast my private struggles to the world, all for the sake of their greed. I stare at the screen, reading and rereading her words. "Your breakdown's viral." It's like a punch to the gut. I thought I could rely on Lena. I thought maybe, just maybe, she'd see the truth. But I was wrong. She was never on my side. All along, she's been just like the rest of them. She's part of this web of lies, part of the plan to silence me. The fear creeps back in, cold and consuming. What if she really does send that clip out? What if the world sees me at my worst? What if this whole fight was in vain? If the people I trusted to be my family turn on me in the worst way possible? But something else stirs within me too. Indignation. I'm not going to let them break me. Not like this. My hands shake as I type a response to Lena. I know I shouldn't send it. I know it's probably not the best move, but my fingers are already typing, the words spilling out before I can stop them. "You're just as bad as the rest of them," I type. "You can't threaten me into silence. I'm not backing down. Not anymore." I stare at the screen for a moment, waiting for something, anything to happen. I don't know what I expect. Maybe her to apologize. Maybe her to say she didn't mean it. But the message just sits there, glaring back at me in its finality. The rain outside intensifies, a deafening roar now as if the storm itself is reflecting my fury. The neon lights from the street below continue to flicker, casting shadows across my apartment, distorting everything in sight. It's like the world itself is trembling, on the brink of something just like me. They're scared, but I'm terrified too. This isn't just about a trust or money. This is about my life, my identity, my future. I can't let them take that from me. They've done enough. But now, it's not just Carla. It's Lena. She's chosen her side, and it's not mine. I sit there in the dim glow of my laptop, the weight of her betrayal heavy in my chest. It's like the ground beneath me is shifting. The stakes just got higher. I can feel it in my bones. This fight, It's not just for justice anymore. It's for my dignity. It's for my truth. The phone buzzes again. Another voicemail, this time from Mike. But I don't even have to listen. I know what he's going to say. "You're making a mess, kid. Calm down. Calm down." The words echo in my head. They want me to calm down, to give up, to just let them get away with everything. But I won't. The rain continues to pound against the window, the storm still raging outside, a reflection of the storm inside me. They're desperate. They know they're losing control. And I'm just beginning to take mine back. I delete the voicemail from Mike, my finger pressing down hard on the screen. With every press, it feels like a tiny victory. It feels like a small act of rebellion. I'm done being silent. I'm done being afraid. This is only the beginning. I will not be their victim. The rain slashes against the windows, a violent reminder of the storm outside. It's one of those Seattle nights, dark, heavy, and unrelenting, the kind where everything feels suffocating, like the weight of the world is pressing down on you. And as the wind howls through the city, I know that tonight, the storm won't just be outside. It'll be right here, in my apartment. I hear a knock at the door, sharp and insistent. For a second, I hesitate, my heart pounding in my chest. I know who it is. Lena. She's come. But why? Why now? I open the door, and there she is, drenched to the bone, her jacket soaked through. Her hair is plastered to her face, her expression unreadable. She looks like she's been fighting against the storm, but here she is, standing in front of me. It's almost laughable how much she resembles the version of herself I used to see, someone I thought I could trust. But now she's just a stranger who walked away from me when I needed her the most. She steps inside without saying a word, shaking off the rain, and I can feel the weight of what's coming. The tension between us is thick, almost suffocating. The room is dimly lit, a single lamp casting long shadows on the scattered papers on the desk. The photo of my mother, the one that's haunted me for days, sits right there, as if it's waiting for this moment, waiting for the truth to finally come out. Lena doesn't waste time. She looks at me, her eyes hardening, and then she speaks. "We lied," she admits, her voice flat, devoid of any remorse. "We lied so you wouldn't ditch us with nothing." The words land like a blow to my chest. My breath catches in my throat, and for a moment I can't respond. They lied, all of them, for this, for money, for greed. All the years I spent trying to fit in, trying to be part of this family, and it turns out I was just a pawn in their little game, a tool they used to keep everything they wanted for themselves. "You lied?" I finally find my voice, my words trembling with the raw emotion bubbling up inside me. "That's all this was to you? A lie? A way to keep me from claiming what's rightfully mine?" Lena looks away, the guilt she's trying to suppress written all over her face. But there's no apology, no explanation, just her cold, calculated words. "Yeah," she says, "it was easier that way. You were the outsider, the one who didn't belong." She pauses, her eyes narrowing. "And now you're just a threat to what we've built." A threat? I can't breathe. My hands curl into fists, shaking with the force of everything I've been holding in. A threat? The betrayal stings more than anything I could have imagined. I gave them my trust. I stood by them, even when I felt like I was the only one holding everything together. And this is what I get in return? A lie that was meant to keep me out of the picture. The rage that's been simmering inside me for so long bubbles to the surface. I'm done pleading. Done trying to make them see me as more than just an outsider. They never wanted me. They wanted the money, and I was just in the way. I thought they were my family, but they were just users. They used me, manipulated me, and then tossed me aside the moment I became a threat to their precious little world. The photo on my desk feels heavier now, like it's finally giving me the strength I need. The weight of it, of everything, pushes me forward, and I can feel the shift in my resolve. The storm outside mirrors what's happening inside me. The wind howls. The rain lashes against the windows as if it's echoing the fury inside me. I take a deep breath and face Lena. "I gave you every chance," I say, my voice steady, though the anger runs deep. "I trusted you. I thought you'd be different, but you're just like them." Her expression falters just for a second, but then she looks away, her posture stiffening. "You don't get it," she snaps. "We had no choice. It was the only way to keep everything intact." "No," I say, my voice sharp. "It was your choice. And now you've lost everything." Lena looks like she's going to say something more, but she doesn't. Instead, she turns and storms toward the door, slamming it behind her as she leaves. The sound of it echoes through the apartment, and for a moment I just stand there, staring at the door. It's over. She's gone. I walk back to my desk, the photo of my mother still sitting there, and I pick it up. The weight of it in my hands feels different now. It's not just a photo anymore, it's a symbol of the truth I've been chasing all along, the truth that's finally coming to light. As the rain continues to pound against the windows, I sit back down at my desk, the pieces of my life falling into place, one after the other. But there's no satisfaction in it, no relief, just the cold, hard reality that I've been used. And now it's time for them to pay. The room is dimly lit, soft lights casting a glow over everything in the small LA studio. My hands are steady as I sit in front of the microphone, but inside my heart is pounding in my chest. It's surreal. Everything that's led up to this moment. This is the climax. The world is about to hear the truth, and I'll finally be free from the lies they've wrapped me in for so long. The host of the True Crime Podcast adjusts the mic in front of me, his eyes gleaming with curiosity and something else, respect maybe. He looks at me, and I know this moment is bigger than I ever imagined. The lights above us cast a soft glow, and the buzz of the podcast studio hums quietly in the background. "We're live in 5, the host announces, and my breath catches. I glance at the laptop beside me, where the Portland court hearing is streaming in real time. The images of the courthouse flash on the screen, lawyers, witnesses, the judge. Everything is happening simultaneously, and it's all being broadcast. Everything I've been through, everything they've done to me, is finally going to be exposed. The host gives me a nod. "You ready?" I nod, even though I can feel the weight of the moment pressing down on me. Ready as I'll ever be. He gives a brief smile. "All right, here we go." The podcast starts, the intro music playing softly before fading into silence. The host introduces me, his voice smooth and steady. I'm here with someone whose story has shaken everyone who's heard it, someone whose family built their fortune on lies, deceit, and betrayal. She's here to tell her story, and it's one that will make your skin crawl. Please welcome. His words hang in the air, and the nerves hit me again. But this time, they feel different. This time, it's not fear I feel. It's resolve. I'm not here to beg for their forgiveness. I'm here to take back what's mine. I take a deep breath, leaning into the mic. "Thank you for having me," I say, my voice clear, unwavering. It's been a long time coming, and I'm ready to tell the world what happened, the truth. The host nods encouragingly, but I can feel the weight of everyone's attention. They're all listening now. They have to. The truth is louder than any lie they ever told. I begin speaking, slowly at first, but as the words flow, it's like a dam has broken. I tell them everything, about my family's lies, about the trust, about how Carla and Mike manipulated me for years. I talk about the forged emails, about the hidden cameras, about the way they erased me from their lives, all for money. I talk about how they never saw me as family. I wasn't a daughter to them. I was just a pawn to keep their grip on the Vineyard Trust. The host lets me speak, but every now and then he chimes in to ask a question. "And you have evidence?" he asks, his voice tinged with disbelief. "Yes," I reply. "Hospital records, trust details, emails, camera footage." I feel the weight of those words settle in. They're not just documents anymore. They're proof. The proof that I wasn't crazy, that I wasn't imagining the betrayal, that everything they did to me was calculated, malicious. As I finish speaking, the podcast audience listens in stunned silence. The tension in the room is palpable. And then, the host takes a deep breath. "And now," he says, his voice dropping low, "we're going to cut to the Portland courthouse, where the judge is making a final ruling on the estate transfer." The screen in front of me flickers, and suddenly, the courtroom is on full display. The judge is speaking, and I hear the words that I've been waiting for. The judge's voice cuts through the air, declaring that the estate will be transferred to me. Carla's face flashes on the screen for a moment, her expression twisted with shock and rage. It's done. The lies are exposed. The estate, the vineyard, everything that was rightfully mine is finally in my hands. I sit back, almost in disbelief. I expected this, but hearing the judge say it, seeing it unfold before me, feels like a weight lifting off my shoulders. I watch as Carla stands, trying to hide the panic in her eyes, and then I hear the final twist. The backlash has already begun. The camera shifts to the headlines showing news outlets picking up the story. The TikTok videos are spreading like wildfire. Carla's Etsy shop crashes. Mike's job gone. The public backlash is swift, unforgiving. The people they've manipulated for years are turning against them. It's chaos. I watch it all unfold in real time, the world seeing them for what they really are. And for the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm on the right side of history. The host's voice cuts through the noise, guiding the story. "This is your truth. Own it," he says, and I nod, my voice firm. "I do," I reply, "and I always will." The camera zooms in on my face as the podcast continues, and for a moment, I let myself feel the weight of what I've just accomplished. I fought for my name, for my dignity, for everything they tried to take from me. And I've won. The photo of my mom, the one that's been with me through this entire journey, feels like a symbol of triumph now. The truth is finally out, and no one can take that from me. The storm outside rages on, but inside, everything feels calm. The battle is over, and for once, I feel like I've finally found peace. The city's soft hum fills the background as I sit in the quiet stillness of my apartment. The early morning light filters gently through the blinds, casting long, golden streaks across the room. The familiar sound of distant traffic and the faint chatter of the world waking up outside is like a subtle lullaby, grounding me in this moment of unexpected peace. It feels surreal, this calm I never thought I'd have, especially after everything. After the lies, the betrayal, the unrelenting chaos. I sit at my desk, the same desk that's seen all my moments of doubt, fear, and anger, and I hold the photo of my mom in my hands. The photo is worn, the edges curled from years of handling, but it's still intact, just like me. It's a small comfort now, a reminder of everything I've fought for, of everything I've won. In my hand, the photo feels like the final piece falling into place. The truth, the one I've desperately searched for, is finally out. And the lies? They've unraveled, leaving only clarity behind. But despite the calm, despite the resolution that's finally here, a nagging thought refuses to leave. Will they strike back? I exhale slowly, the question hanging in the air like the mist rising from the streets below. But it's hard to shake the doubt. I can feel the weight of it pressing against me, even as I sit in this peaceful moment. My laptop screen flickers to life, the soft click of it drawing my attention away from my thoughts. Another email. I open it, the anticipation building in my chest. The email is simple, its content stark and direct. Lena's phone backups have the camera proof. My heart skips a beat. Camera proof? The last piece of the puzzle. Everything I'd suspected, everything I'd feared confirmed. My hand trembles slightly as I click on the attachment, and there it is, the footage. Clear, undeniable. Lena had planted the camera. She'd been watching me, controlling me, all while pretending to care, all while pretending to be my family. The shock is immediate, but the anger that follows is even sharper. It wasn't just the money, the estate, or the manipulation. It was control. They wanted to control my every move, my every thought, and now I see the full extent of it. The footage isn't just evidence. It's a mirror, reflecting everything they've done to me. The state's investigation is already underway. I can almost hear the frantic calls from Carla and Mike, knowing their entire world is falling apart. Subpoenas are flying, their records are being examined. It's only a matter of time before they're cornered, and I no longer have to chase them. They've already run. I lean back in my chair, staring at the photo in my hands. For the first time in ages, I don't feel anxious. I'm not angry. I'm not chasing after something that's slipping away. For the first time, I'm not pleading for validation. I don't need their approval. I never did. Their betrayal was never about me. It was about them, their greed, their lies. And now, they've lost. The city outside begins to stir as the world wakes up, the light creeping across the skyline. But inside my apartment, everything feels still, calm. The soft hum of the city serves as a gentle reminder of the peace I now feel, a peace I've never known. The gnawing doubts, the questions that always lingered in the back of my mind about who I really was, where I belonged. Those doubts have been erased. The truth is clear. The world knows now. They've seen what they did to me. I don't need to prove my worth anymore. I never did. But still, that question lingers. Are they really gone? The truth has been exposed. The courts have ruled. The estate is mine. The world knows who they are. But Carla and Mike, they've always been slippery. They've always found a way to escape the consequences. I can't shake the nagging feeling that this isn't over, that they'll find a way to crawl back from this. I glance down at the photo again, the worn edges, smooth under my fingertips. The comfort it once gave me feels different now. It's not just a memento of my past anymore. It's the symbol of everything I've fought for. And now, it feels like I can finally put it all to rest. I don't need to worry about them. What's done is done. They've been exposed for who they are, and no amount of running will change that. I set the photo back down on the table. The soft dawn light catches its edges, casting long, gentle shadows across the desk. The city hums outside, the world waking up. But in this moment, I feel like I'm in a different world altogether. It's quiet. It's peaceful. And for the first time in a long time, I can breathe. The storm has passed. But that lingering question, that quiet worry, will they strike back, remains. Will they try to retaliate, to claw their way back into my life? Or is this truly the end? For now, though, I can only sit here, breathe deeply, and let the calm wash over me. The fight is over. The battle is won. And I've finally found the peace I've been searching for. The sun is a soft golden glow as I step out of the car. The warm California air is filled with the sweet scent of blooming vines, a gentle breeze stirring the leaves around me. It feels like the world is stretching open, inviting me in, a stark contrast to the weight that's hung over my shoulders for so long. I've never felt so light, so free. The air tastes different here, more alive, like something has shifted within me. I walk through the vineyard, rows of lush green vines stretching out, swaying gently in the breeze. The peaceful quiet of the morning surrounds me, the world humming softly with life. And in the distance, I see the cafe, a small, welcoming spot nestled among the rows. I breathe deeply, taking in the earthy smell of wine and fresh flowers as I approach. She's there, waiting for me. My cousin. The one who reached out through that anonymous comment on my blog. She's standing at a sunlit table, her smile radiant, as if she's been waiting for me for years, even though this is the first time we're meeting face to face. There's an instant familiarity, a warmth that tugs at my heart. I feel a lump form in my throat as I walk up to her. This moment is too big for words. It's a moment I've needed for so long. She smiles, her arms open in a welcoming gesture. "I knew you'd find your way back to us," she says, her voice full of understanding, as if she's known all along how this story would unfold. For a second, I can't speak. I've been carrying so much fear. Fear that I would never belong, that the family I've longed for would never accept me. But here she is, and I realize that this is where I've always belonged. Not in the house of lies I once called home, but here, in this moment, in this place filled with honesty and love. We sit down at the table, the soft clink of coffee cups and the murmur of other guests filling the air around us. My cousin begins to tell me stories of my aunt, of the love she had for me, of how she always wanted me to know the truth about my heritage. As she speaks, she hands me a bundle of letters, old and worn, some of them yellowed with age. These letters were hidden away for so long, but now, in my hands, they feel like treasures. The words are full of love, messages of care and longing that had been lost for too long. My aunt's love fills the space between us, and for the first time in what feels like forever, I feel truly seen, truly loved. The grief that I've carried with me begins to dissolve, piece by piece, as I listen. My aunt's love was never gone. It was always there, waiting for me to find it. And now I found it. Now I feel whole. We leave the cafe together, and as we drive, the weight of what's to come settles in. The sun is beginning to set, casting long, soft shadows over the rolling hills. The scent of wildflowers drifts in through the window, mixing with the warm California air. We arrive at the cemetery, the quiet stillness wrapping itself around us as we step out of the car. The ground beneath our feet is soft, the wildflowers swaying gently in the breeze, and the trees rustle above us, their leaves whispering in the wind. I walk up to my aunt's grave, the stone cool beneath my fingers. I kneel down, my heart heavy with both sorrow and relief, and I whisper, "I've reclaimed my truth." For a moment, the world feels still. The weight of the past, the uncertainty about who I was, where I belonged, it's all gone. I'm no longer trapped in their lies. I've found my truth, and with it, my place in the world. I'm not someone's secret anymore. I'm someone's loved one. I belong here. As I stand up, the breeze carries the scent of the wildflowers, and I take a deep breath, feeling the weight that's been pressing down on me for so long finally lift. I'm breathing for the first time in years. The pain of the past seems so far away now, and the future feels full of possibility. I turn to my cousin, her gentle presence grounding me. "Thank you," I say, the words heavy with meaning. "You've given me back my family." She smiles, her eyes full of understanding. "We're here now, and that's what matters." I stand there for a moment, taking in the peaceful stillness around us. The storm of the past has passed, and I'm free. For the first time, I can feel the full weight of the truth, that love, not blood, defines family. And now, with the truth in my hands, I'm no longer afraid. As we leave the cemetery, a sense of closure washes over me. I no longer crave their approval. I don't need their validation. I found my truth, and that's enough. I'm finally at peace. Before I leave, I want to connect with all of you. If you've ever fought against betrayal, if you've ever reclaimed your truth, I want to hear your story. Share it with me in the comments below. Tell me where you're tuning in from and share what it felt like to fight for who you are. Let's connect. Let's share our stories. And hey, if you found something meaningful in my journey, if it's helped you find a piece of your own, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I've got more real-life thrillers coming your way. Family is defined by love, not blood. And the truth always triumphs over betrayal.